Oh my God, what the hell is this? He's gonna try it! And will this be enough? My God!
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruckus Wrastlin. I am Josh Mabry alongside my tag team partner in this journey, Justin Toner. How we doing?
I'm feeling good, baby.
Okay, because
my Yankees just lost. It's all right.
It's all right. Hey, they're still up 2-1. But that was probably the best game of the championship series between either four teams that are involved here.
Yep.
So finally, we got a classic baseball game in these championship series. But nor here, no less. We're here to talk about the world that is, was, and will be in wrestling. And we finally got PWI's Pro Wrestling Insiders top 250 female wrestlers of 2024. There's some controversy between the two people you see that disagree with certain things, but
we're going to talk about it because you and I and a lot of other people, I have similar feelings about this list. And who is on and who is not on it.
Right. And for those who don't know of what they take into account to make this list is win-loss record, championships won, quality of competition, major feuds, prominence within a wrestler's promotion, and overall wrestling ability. Topping it off, I don't have a quarrel with it. We'll just go one by one, and then we'll tell you what really we don't like about it. But at least we'll go through the top 10. Okay. So I've got number one is Timeless Toni Storm, which we were saying she should be number one from like at least mid-year through once Rhea got hurt.
Timeless Toni being the number one spot, everyone agrees that that's like no question. She deserves to be number one with what she's done this past year with the Timeless Toni character, her run as AEW Women's World Champion. Her third and best run, thankfully, compared to the short and awful two previous reigns she had before this. She got a really good run, had good competition, did amazing character work. One of the best things AEW has had all year. So, no question, she should have been numero uno.
Yeah. Number two is Jordynne Grace. Now, some
this
people
was a surprise. I expected her to be in the top 10, but I didn't think she'd be this high.
Well, if you think about, because at first people are like, Jordynne Grace, what? I'm like, it doesn't matter about the promotion you're in. It matters what you do in said promotion. Okay. Jordynne Grace has held that women's division down in TNA. She's held it down so much that she's also competed in multiple other promotions and still done great. Okay. She put out banger after banger when she is performing. So again, at the first time, but if you sit and think about it, Jordynne Grace should definitely deserve that number two spot.
Absolutely.
Number three is Rhea. The only reason Rhea isn't number two or number one is because she got hurt.
Yes.
That's flat out it.
She would probably be number two if she didn't lose about about 2-3 months with that injury.
Yeah. So that's good there. Micah, is that pronounced that right? From Stardom. Not familiar with her.
Micah, I think it's
not familiar with her. But as we know, Stardom is a Japanese, correct? Stardom is a female. It's all female, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it's the all female promotion. It's an offshoot of New Japan.
Right.
They're tied to New Japan. Stardom.
Hold on. Let me get my production going here. I did not do that right. We're on the news. Number 5 is Stephanie Vacour, which,
no brainer.
No brainer.
She got everyone on everyone's radar this year. I mean, she beat Julia for New Japan Women's Championship. Had the great match with Mercedes Moné at Forbidden Door, which got everybody's attention, especially WWE's, because WWE made the move to snatch her up before AEW could.
Yep.
And now she's in NXT. She's finally in NXT and already kicking ass. So and we'll talk about that. She made her in-ring debut this week on NXT, and we'll talk about that later.
Very crisp between her and Ren. Very crisp. And then Suri is at number 6 again.
Yeah.
She was a former NXT 2.0, and then they let her go, and now she's back at Stardom. Correct.
Yeah.
And she's also she does some Marigold stuff. Which did she
Yeah,
wrestle Julia?
She's worked Marigold. She's fought Julia a number of times. So like they've gone head to head. They're pretty close from what I've heard. That's like they're good friends.
Gotcha. Number 7, Bailey. Her matches, her feuds, obviously, are the one thing that drag her down.
Yeah, the feuds after she won the title from EO at Mania weren't it was a bit lackluster. But between winning the Rumble and winning the title at WrestleMania, and just putting on just overall good matches, period, she should be in the top 10.
Right. So no quarrels with that. Number 8, Willow Nightingale. Now. This makes sense if you think about it, but this is where we start getting in the okay, I get it, but disagree. But Willow, I expect Willow to stay on here. It's definitely for 2025. I expect her to crack the top 5 with the momentum.
If she becomes TBS champion again, or she wins the AEW Women's World Championship at some point, she's definitely going to go up. Because she's one of the most over babyface women AEW has. One of our most popular babyfaces they got in the promotion period. She puts on really good matches. She works hard. She's just a very. It's like she's just got a lovable personality, and she puts in the work. Now, because like she won the TBS championship this year, and then she dropped it to Mercedes Moné. She won CMML's women's championship, had that for a bit as well. So she's won some titles this year.
Yeah,
so
she has. So, and then number 9 is Mariah May. Now, to me, it's a little recency biased. I think she had arguably the top female feud of the year between her and Timeless Toni.
Oh yeah,
and also she's won. She obviously is the AEW Women's Champion. But the thing is my quarrel with this is that feud with Timeless was so good for Mariah, making Mariah a star, that it propelled her to be in the top 10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I think
also she's won a lot of matches. She hasn't.
Yeah,
like she won a lot of matches. She went through the Owen Hart tournament to earn the title shot, and then she turned on Toni and then beat her for the title. She's had quite the year.
Yeah, she's had quite the year. Now, I have some arguments against it because I think there's some other champions who's had longer championship reigns that we'll get to further down. Number 10, number 1, Exhibit A of having a longer title reign because she's the only one that's had it is Athena. I haven't watched any of her matches, but she's really good. I mean, she's just really solid.
Athena's always been good. I was a fan of her when she was in WWE as Ember Moon. She has like the Eclipse finisher was just a dope finisher. Between just missed opportunities and also injuries, she never really got a chance to really move up in the main roster after she got called up from NXT. But yes, on the one hand, she's made a name for herself. She's had this record-breaking reign as ROH Women's Champion, but unfortunately, not a lot of people are watching it because, like, it's like, what I don't. It's like what I don't understand is that she would probably actually be higher on this list if she wasn't on ROH and she was on AEW television. Honestly,
yeah. But which brings us to the 2 snubs, which are at number. Also, Liv Morgan's not on here, but we'll get to that.
All right. So who is missing here from the top 10? Who we love? That is like the number 1 biggest snub here. Class? Anyone?
I got it. Roxanne Perez who came in at number 11. She has, speaking about Athena carrying ROH, she has carried the NXT Women's Division until now, all year. She's been in the Royal Rumble. So as far as like big matches and stuff like that, win-loss record.
Yeah, she was in the Rumble. She won the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver, and she's still the champion as of this week. She's had incredible matches with multiple people. That match with Jordan Grace, that crossover match was awesome. It's like, and now things are even cooking more because now, like, Julia and Stephanie McCurry are gunning for her. Delta's coming in too. It's like, it's like the NXT Women's Division it's just getting crazy stacked.
I mean, her back is hurting from carrying that division, which arguably is the best West women's division.
Her not being in the top 10 is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. She's literally it was like what we talked about. Go back to our previous shows. Yes, I am super biased. I'm like one of the biggest Roxanne fans around because she reminds me of a newer version of AJ Lee, which is always AJ Lee to me was the outlier in that stupid ass divas bullshit that they were doing, but she still still was good enough to run through. Which, well, the rumor is that they're trying to get AJ Lee back, but as long as CM Punk's there, they're always going to try and get AJ Lee back. That's not here nor there. That's not what we're talking about. But she gets the title. She goes heel for the first time. She had a little bit rocky, but then she found her footing. And then she had, to me, what all this says is that PWI does not look at NXT as much as they look at the other promotions. Right. That's pretty much what this is. Because, and Athena has been doing it a lot longer. Her match quality is probably a little bit better. But who's on national?
Looking at Mika or Saray's body of work, I'm sure they've had some really good matches and stuff this year. But, what Roxanne has done should I think exceeds that. It's like as soon as I saw this and I looked at the top 10, I'm like what where's Roxanne? It's like I immediately messaged I'm like can you believe this?
It was like I don't get, and then people are like, who are you going to take off? I'm like, honestly, Mariah May. Like, if you think about the way they judge it, she's held the belt all year. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, she was in the Royal Rumble. Mariah May, like I said, is recency biased. She really hasn't done anything as far as matches. Yes, she won stuff, but it was always lower card, building her up for the audience. Then she had the killer feud, which I'm not taking anything away. And now she is the AEW champion, a women's champion. But hell, they book NXT women way better than Tony Khan does for the women in AEW. Yeah, and it's not Mariah May's fault.
Yeah, like the whole storyline and feud between Tony and Mariah is one of the best things they've done. But it's the exception to the rule compared to some of the other stuff they do in the women's division over there. So, yeah, this was I was like, this is ridiculous. It's like that she's just outside the top 10. It's like,
right. I just think it's got to be more of how they view NXT than how they view what her resume is. Because I'm like saying, you can take Willow out of there. Willow's been doing great work, but she hasn't. She went from CMLL.
Yeah, I saw so many people tweet out about it's like wait, Roxanne's not on the top 10. What is this?
Yeah, and then the other snub, but I can understand if she was 11. I can understand it. It still sucks. Is Io Sky?
Yes. Okay. It's really nice to see you in the top 10, but you can make a good argument that she's just outside the top 10. Like her placement, I'm okay with it, but what Roxanne being a champion is still a champion, and what she's done, her not just coming in at 11, just outside the top 10. I was come on, man.
Yeah. And so we're super biased about that. Rounding out the rest, like we said, Liv Morgan Roxanne is at 11, which is just bullshit. It's the first NXT and the only NXT. Well, no, technically not, and number 20, but right now.
I'm surprised that Julie is not even in the top 20.
Yeah, Julie's not even there. So I don't know. Well, she was hurt. Remember, she got hurt.
Right, she was out for a bit with an injury.
Right, and she was still doing contract stuff. She was basically in that purgatory, trying to get healthy, but also still wrestling because she had contract obligations. So I can understand why she's not in the top 20. I don't expect her to be out of the top 20 come next year for that, but that was a surprise there. Like we talked about.
I'm impressed that Lyra Valkyria made the top 20.
Yeah.
I mean, it's she started out the year while she was NXT Women's Champion. She dropped the belt to Roxanne, that call out main roster. She's had ups and downs in the main roster. She made it to the finals of the Queen of the Ring tournament, lost to Nia. Kind of unfortunately been kind of stuck in this never-ending feud at the moment with Pure Fusion Collective. But overall, it's the future is good for her. I'm not worried about that. So I'm glad that she at least made the top 20. It shows that it's that they're at least recognizing that she's put in a lot of work this year, and they definitely see a lot in her. So
right. There was a 2 from TJPW. There was another one from two other ones from Stardom. Masha Slamovich. I'm not familiar. You've been watching some TNA recently.
Yeah, I've seen a little bit of her. Right now, she's going after Jordan Grace for the Knockouts Championship, because they have history. From what I've seen, she's pretty good. So, and then Becky Lynch just made the top 20 at 17. Makes sense. It's like started the year red hot. She was feuding with Rhea. Had the match at WrestleMania.
Right.
Held the Women's World Championship for a bit after Rhea went down with injury and then dropped it to Liv. And I'm surprised she made the top 20 with the fact that she's been taking time off for the last few months.
I'd be interested to see where they put everyone else to see who could jump Becky, but I just think that Becky did such good stuff at the beginning, that first 6 months, that I guess it was enough to keep her in the top 20.
Yeah.
There.
And plus, also this extends to a little bit. Their time of coverage is like a little near the end of 2023 into a certain part of 2024. So maybe that's why it's like so some of like Roxanne's matches didn't fall. Their title defenses didn't fall into the period of coverage that they're going by. So, but still, she should have been in the top 10. It's like,
I'm interested to see where they put Thea Hale. I thought Thea Hale had a really good year.
Yeah. And also where some of the other talent from NXT is like Sol Ruka and a couple others.
Jada Parker. And interested to see
hopefully maybe they're in the top 50 at least.
Yeah. I would think that, but who knows? Trying to think of the other.
And Liv just outside the top 10. That makes sense. It's like she's totally started to come strong after she beat Becky to win the World Championship, and the feud with Rhea has been well done so far. Although if they're getting in danger territory of it dragging the feud out.
Yeah, it's getting to the getting stale bit. But if there's anyone that can turn around feuds from coming stale to being hot again, it's WWE, because that bloodline feud is still, and just when they think I'm out, they pull me back in for with another swerve. So so that's always what I'm saying. Like when it starts to get stale, I'm like, where are we going from here? Then they figure it. They just do a little bit of nuggets, and I'm like, shit, I'm back in now on that. But overall, guys, PWI, you've been doing this for decades upon decades.
Don't disrespect the Prodigy.
But don't disrespect the Prodigy. Don't disrespect. This is just a clear disrespect to NXT itself. And you don't hold that women's division compared to the other divisions. That's just that, and also too. That's just what I think there. Then a couple of contract stuff. Jordan Grace's husband, Gresham. What's his first name? Jonathan Gresham. He's been hanging out. Obviously, when Jordan would come over to NXT, he was with her. Turns out that he's a little rumbling about his contract and asking out of his contract and stuff like that with TNA. And then obviously we're getting towards January, where Jordan Grace will be a quote unquote free agent. So maybe they're trying to finagle to get Jonathan Gresham on NXT with her. I think he would be great for NXT. Jonathan Gresham is a solid in-ring worker. He's fine on the mic. I think he would be a great talent for that division going forward. Another thing, Scott D'Amore, apparently his show, obviously he's doing his Maple Leaf Wrestling promotion. They're getting ready to have their big event here soon. Was it this weekend?
Yes, it's this weekend's 2-night event, Saturday and Sunday. So you can buy each night separately or buy both nights at a discount. Available through a lot of the pay-per-view providers.
All right. What's some of the matches off the top of your head? Obviously, the Josh Alexander.
You can pull it up.
Okay. Just real quick, obviously, for people who don't know, Maple Leaf Wrestling was founded and started by Scott D'Amore years ago. They were kind of, I think, in the early 2000s.
It's a revival of a previous brand in Canada, revived by Scott D'Amore, who revealed that as we thought, he did have a no compete when he was cut loose by TNA earlier this year, but he worked out a deal where they lifted the no compete so he could start this promotion.
They were making sure that he was doing that and not going somewhere else, basically.
Yeah. There's probably they didn't want him to go to WWE or TNA, depending on who was interested in the service.
AEW, you mean?
Yeah, more likely AEW.
Yeah.
All right, so so we got a bunch of matches here. Let's see here. We've got a 6-man scramble. Trevor Lee, formerly known as Cameron Grimes in NXT. Stu Grayson, Sheldon Jean, Mike Rollins, Alex Zane, and Jake something. So that's
his actual name, people. His name is literally Jake something. Not to sit there and say Justin disrespected his name.
Another promotions. Let's see, QPW's Qatar Championships on the line. Champion Classy Ali against El Reverso. Qatar Pro Wrestling. So I guess So they got some other promotions. They got AEW and TNA to have wrestlers show up. Takeshita's wrestling but both nights. On one night, he's taking on Josh Alexander from TNA. That should be a banger match. That's the main event. And also, the AEW International title's on the line in that match against Josh Alexander.
Yeah. Who's he? Oh, my God. I always forget. Who's Josh Alexander going against?
Takeshita.
Yeah, that's right. I knew it was
Speedball Mike Bailey from TNA is taking on El Phantasmo.
Nice. That'd be a fun one.
That's on night 2. There's a 4-way tag team match. Some people I don't know.
Guess we won't have the Rascals.
Get another cross promotion match. Giselle Shaw taking on Miyu and Yamashita.
She was in the top 20.
Yeah.
I think
she's worked for TNA and Ring of Honor.
Yeah, she was number 19 on the PWI.
So that's one to keep an eye on. 6-man match. Josh Alexander, Stu Grayson, and ELP taking on Trevor Lee, Rocky Romero from AEW, and Alex Zane. Some people are working both nights.
Get that money.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. It's a 4-way match. Kylie Ray, Aura Tevez, Taylor Rising, and Laney Luck in a fatal 4-way. Tables match. Bully Ray taking on the Maharaja, formerly known as Jinder Mahal. And let's see. QT Marshall is taking on Bhupinder Gohar. Charlie Cameron's going to be there. They're going to crown an inaugural Grail Championship. Jake something taking on Rajan Raja. Let's see. Kushida's going to be there. Then it goes Mauro Ranallo and Don Callis are the announced team.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense with Don Callis being there because Takeshita's there.
Yeah.
Much less him and Scott are real close. So.
Yeah, and also the other match, Takeshita is taking on Mike Bailey of TNA in a non-title match on the first night. Then he's defending the International Championship against teenage Josh Alexander on night 2. And so,
what makes you think Will Ospreay is going to show up and screw over Takeshita in the first match? Just really make a pop. I doubt it, but it'd be really.
I doubt it, but you know.
Not with that, but yep. And then a couple of things. Unfortunately, AJ Styles was injured, and it was kind of worse.
He did get legit injured, and he revealed it on social media. Unfortunately,
yeah, it's a Liz Frank, which is a foot injury.
Yeah.
For those who don't know about what Liz Frank is, it takes a lot of like football players down. It's the recovery on it is just ridiculous. But basically, AJ Styles came out on Twitter and says, "As the kids say, I'm cooked." Hopefully AJ comes back and gives us one more run. Apparently, he was kind of on his last run AJ's kind of alluded to that. But I think he's definitely going to come back for at least one more run so he can go out on his own accord and not have a foot injury.
It's like it depends on how bad it is. He could be out for a short amount of time or a long period of time. It depends on the severity of the injury, from what I've read.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. This is the first time a wrestler had a list.
Sounds like he's going to be out for maybe more than a month or so.
Yeah, so not too worried about that. Right. So surprise, surprise. I know some news just to kind of go about. Came out today in the no shit situation is that Saudi has kind of final say on what they want. So there was I was listening to Wrestle Talk and they were kind of talking about it. Was basically it was Saudis. They were going to do like a battle royal or whatever. That was kind of what WWE's plan was. And then Saudi was like, no, we want like champion versus champion or something of that nature. So they made that big belt, all this stuff. And it just kind of had that writing on the wall. Is like, well, we've got this deal. They pay us a lot of money. Let's just do like the most largest house show ever. That's kind of what this looks like. This card is going to look like. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we've known it back in the day when, Goldberg goes over and stuff like that. Just they want whatever Saudi wants is what they'll do.
Right.
So that's why we're having these BS matches, and you still have to sell it. So that's why we're having the Gunther and Cody Rhodes and heel on who's the biggest heel, which makes me a face thing with Nia Jax and Liv Morgan, which is just a headache to thinking about. But we'll get into that on Raw and also SmackDown. So they came out with that, which doesn't surprise me at all. They're just kind of going through the motions. I think Triple H is just doing business, but he doesn't want to do it. Just the way that they're booking these things is so he can protect his storylines, but it puts a wrench in what he's trying to build because he does long-term storylines. So he's got all this stuff going on with Cody and the Bloodline and Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. You know what you need to do? You need to face Gunther.
Yeah.
And then Liv Morgan's got Rhea and Nia has got Tiffy. And what's going on with that? You know what we're going to do? Liv, Nia, you wrestle and make us care. Like, it's just a dumb. I mean, it was our reaction on Bad Blood. And then we're like, this had Saudi written all over it. Yeah. And them just compromising and coming up with a title that they're never going to carry around again. There was something else that I remember them saying about. One of the princes apparently said that they wanted his favorite wrestler was Yokozuna, so he wanted Yokozuna to wrestle. I forget who it was, and they had to be like,
it's like, Your Highness, he's dead.
He's dead. He died 20 years ago.
He died a long time ago.
Yeah. He died in what was it, 97 or something? Like it was.
No, it was early 2000s, I think.
Early 2000s. Okay. Again, he died like 30 years ago, almost. So
he died a while ago.
Yeah. But now they're like, all right, well, let's just do another sumo wrestler. You won't know the difference. I don't know. But that's just kind of why we get these weird ass bookings for those Crown Jewel shows. And WWE and TKO being like, well, we're going to honor the deal, but we're also going to let them have their say, but also not screw up what we're trying to do over here and not piss off the fans. Because we finally got them back on our side and they're excited for our product for that. So any other news or anything like that before we move on to Wrestle Dream?
I don't think so. Well, unless you want to do that first and then talk SmackDown.
Yeah. Well, I typically like to do pay-per-views, but since it's an AEW, so there wasn't that SmackDown that led into it. So we can do that.
Just one of the quick thing is we can talk about the Kevin Owens video because that goes after what happened on SmackDown, right? Because
I was going to wait to talk about that and just how they're kind of doing the Kevin Owens feud. Yeah, and I think it's just a really cool thing. It's different and it's working. So, and it's keeping people glued to it's keeping that surprise, right? It's like, we might get some more content from that's taking on the feud that they'll show on SmackDown, but it keeps people engaged online and keeping you focused. And like, just because a show goes off the air, like, oh my gosh, we're cut for time, but we'll blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, guys. Nope, not in this day and age. Yeah. So let's go talk about the pay-per-view. All right. This is kind of a weird ending.
All right, here's a recap of AEW's Wrestle Dream pay-per-view that took place this past Saturday in Tacoma, Washington. Go over most of this quick and dirty here. So a lot of matches. On the pre-show, Brian Cage defeated Lance Jr. to win the ROH Television Championship. NJ beat Harley Cameron. The Acclaimed defeated the Maximum Male Models. Despite help from Rico, of all people, had a little bit of a reunion with Billy Gunn. The Conglomeration, Orange Cassidy and Kyle O'Reilly, and the Outrunners defeated the Dark Order and the Premier Athletes in an 8-man tag. Then we got to the main show proper. Opening match was Jay White taking a Hangman Eddie Page in a grudge match. Jay White surprisingly won this match. He worked on the knee and was able to counter a buckshot lariat into the Blade Runner for the pinfall. Then we had the AEW Women's Championship match. Mariah Way against Will Nightingale. Mariah Way emerged victorious to retain the title. Then TNT Championship match. Jack Perry defending against Katsuyori Shibata. Perry defeated Shibata to retain the title. He went to try to hurt Shibata afterwards. Daniel Garcia came out to make the save. Perry laid him out with the title, and then MJF's music played. MJF returned. He attacked Garcia. Got on the mic, said that he took some doing, but he got his Dynamite Diamond ring back from the pawn shop in Buffalo, and was going to make him kiss it, and he went to attack him with the ring. But then all of a sudden, Adam Cole's music, Adam Cole Baby, finally returned from injury. He ran down to make the save, surprisingly. Big reaction as a babyface for him. He helped Garcia up and shook his hand. Then we had the triple threat match for the International Championship. Will Ospreay defending against Ricochet and Konosuke Takeshita. Easily the best match on the card. Awesome match. It looked like Ospreay was going to win, but Don Callis pulled the referee out of the ring. He went after him with a screwdriver. Ospreay blocked it. He went to chew a tiger driver on Don Callis, but then Kyle Fletcher ran out and attacked him from behind with a screwdriver to turn on Will, and that allowed Takeshita to lay out Ospreay and pin him to win the International Championship. Then Hologram and Beast Mortos did a 2 out of 3 falls match. Hologram won that 2 falls to 1. Darby Allin and Brody King had a match. Darby Allin won that. Tag team titles were on the line. Young Bucks defended against Private Party. Young Bucks picked up the victory. Then for the ROH World Championship, Mark Briscoe defended against Chris Jericho. Despite shenanigan attempts from Lurie Tree, Briscoe's friends backed him up, and Briscoe hit the Jay Driller to pin Jericho and retain the title. And then we had the main event, AEW Championship match, Jon Moxley challenging Bryan Danielson for the title. And of course, if Danielson lost, then his full-time in-ring career would be over. Moxley defeated him by choking him out into unconsciousness to defeat him and win the AEW Championship for a record 4th time. The rest of us beat Blackpool Combat Club cohorts, and Maria Shafir came out. They put the title in the duffel bag. They went to hurt Danielson some more. Darby Allin and William Yuta right out for the save, but it was a swerve as Yuta turned on Darby from behind and showed that he had decided to join with Moxley and company. They duct taped Darby to the corner and forced him to watch as Wheeler Yuta took the plastic bag from Moxley and choked Danielson out again with it. A bunch of babyfaces tried to make the save and kept getting fought off. Private Party and Jeff Jarrett tried first, and then others involved. Finally, some of the bigger names, Daniel Garcia, Orange Cassidy, Adam Cole, came out. And finally, the Blackpool Combat Club retreated with the damage already been done. Bryan Danielson was stretchered out as Darby Allin and the other babyfaces looked on, all concerned, and as well as the commentators selling that that saw a horrible thing happened. And that's how the pay-per-view ended on a very downer note as Bryan Danielson was stretchered out. So that's all that happened on AEW's Wrestle Dream 2024 pay-per-view.
So is this the end of Bryan Danielson?
Of his full-time career, yes, but not the end of him. He'll be back.
Right, I know
he's
that.
going to get his payback on Moxley and Company.
Gotcha.
How long he's going to be out? I heard he has to get neck surgery, so depending on that and how long the recovery is for that, we might be seeing him for like a few months.
Probably. Hang that Will Ospreay Ricochet to catch the match in the Lou. That thing was fun.
That was the match of the night, hands down.
Yeah. It's just you put those three together with that chemistry. And
I thought it was floating with 5 stars, but like the screw job finish took it a little bit off of it, but it was still like absolutely amazing match.
Yeah. Let me see what else stuck out, because I only caught I watched that match, but I only caught highlights. Obviously, I didn't get the pay-per-view. So what stuck out? What was the pros and cons of this show? The con obviously is how it was felt like the ending with Wheeler turning on Bryan just felt anticlimactic to me.
Yeah, a lot of people, I understand what they were going for. Danielson losing, obviously, the way he lost really sucked the energy out of the crowd. You could hear it. And then you have such a downer ending where they just destroy him, and they stop most of the run-ins until a lot of the more top name baby faces came out, and finally they retreated. And then you got, and then Excalibur trying to sound like all weepy and everything. It's like I'm like you need to work on your acting classes, dude. It's like and just seeing everyone dejected as he's stretchered out. It's a ballsy move to do something like that. I get why they did it, but it's like it may not have been maybe the best way. But I get it, because I know some people weren't happy with the way it ended. Kind of like wait, that's it.
Yeah.
And also there was no. It's like the pay-per-views overall. I would say it was a good show, but not like
right.
It could have been maybe a great pay-per-view, but there was a lot of a good match and then kind of match, and then it's it was a bit of a roller coaster as far as the match quality goes. The opening match was fantastic. Switchblade Jay White and Hangman Page, they cooked.
And seeing Jay White wrestle as a babyface.
Yeah, it's like the fans like him, which is kind of surprising. So, I thought Mariah May Will Nightingale, their match lasted just about 11 minutes, but in the time they had, they was both really good. Jack Perry and Shibata, that was okay. It's the finish came out of nowhere, but that was more about the post angle stuff with MJF and Adam Cole coming back. So Adam Cole is back to being babyface. So we'll get more to that Dynamite, because I get why people are having issues with this, because trying to make sense of where the face and heel alignment is right now. It's like insane troll logic to try to wrap my brain around it. It's there's a lot of this does not compute here. It's obvious that they want to finally try to blow off that feud, but I know it's unfortunate. Again, the
motivations
are all messed up. We'll get more to that on Dynamite, because what Cole said and everything. But on the positive side, I'm just happy that Adam Cole is back. Hopefully he can stay healthy, because his AEW run has been so snake bitten with 2 major injuries that have sidelined him for a significant amount of time. I mean, the injury, both the concussion and then this ankle injury, he's lost almost 2 years out of his time at AEW because of these 2 injuries. It's it's just horrible. Especially when the stuff with MJF and him was so good, and then he got hurt. It's just oh, it's son of a bitch. Mm-hmm. So happy he's back. Boy, he MJF filmed his stuff at Heavy Gilmore 2 pretty fast. So it's apparently he's got some other stuff lined up. So we'll see how long he's going to be around before he may have to take another short sabbatical. But
How was Darby and Brody?
Darby and Brody was all right. It was short. I guess it served its purpose. It wasn't a bad match. It was just fine. Hologram versus Beast Motos was nice, but it's like crowd only got into it with certain stuff. So it's like Young Bucks Private Party was fine.
People were. I saw where people didn't like that the Private Party didn't go over on them.
Yeah, no. And it didn't help that basically the Bucks were like, you guys are.
There you go. That tag title match sucked.
It did. They ran them down and then they beat them, and the match. It's a testament somehow. Private Party was able to get the fans into the match because they really didn't give much of a hoop for the match for the most of it. But like when things got really hot, they got into it and they gave them an ovation afterwards for the effort. So, which is amazing because it's like this thing had like zero heat coming into it because it is like because of Private Party has not been made to look like serious contenders. They've been in Jobberville for a long time, as I like to say. So. Yeah, it was yeah. And Briscoe versus Jericho was fine. It's like I'm glad he won, but it's like I guess that feud is not over with. So I mean, you had some good matches here. Also, some matches were okay. So I mean, there was enough good matches where I'd say like overall the show was like didn't suck. I'd say it's just enough good matches to push it into good territory. And not be like a kind of like a mess show.
Okay. And then he said the women's match was fun.
Yeah.
I expected that. I don't.
Yeah, Mariah Mayweather had a very good match.
Yeah,
it was very good.
Yeah.
Jericho
ladder war on Wednesday.
Yeah. We'll talk about that on Dynamite. Jericho talked it. I edited it out. I left it out of the recap when I had to do a little editing. But I'll say it now. Jericho wanted a rematch because he said that Mark cheated, blah blah blah, and brought up his brother again. And so Mark's like, okay, I had enough of your crap. I'll give you a rematch, but it'll be a ladder match. So they're doing a ladder match next week in a rematch.
Speaking about Mark Briscoe, I forgot to bring this up and reminded me of it. Did you see the scuttlebutt that apparently the Briscoe brothers were set up to be with the Wyatt family back in 2013, and then Jay made that tweet that sidelined them from being in any major wrestling promotions?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, that was the rumor that obviously Wyatt came out 11 years later. I do not know, but yeah, apparently
it's funny how things come out. It's like
but apparently, I guess maybe Mark was in an interview and said that we were set up to be with the Wyatts in 2013, and then the controversial tweet.
What a difference if they had ended up in WWE and been treated right.
Really, in 2013 they were going to be
treated
right.
Probably not because Vince was because of Vince.
He didn't like tag. He doesn't like tag. He didn't like tag teams.
Yeah,
it wouldn't. No, I mean, every promotion right now is having.
It's a cool what if.
Every promotion right now is having a hard time booking tag teams. But yeah, so. And then also the Bucks apparently came out. They're on their like Hulk Hogan kick. Someone was saying like a Private Party should have won or something, and then they quote tweeted and saying that doesn't work for us, brother.
Yeah, they were making fun of Hogan there. It doesn't work for us, brother.
Doesn't work for me, brother. Is it weird so as far as the two pay-per-views that we had from both different promotions, we had Bad Blood and then we had Wrestle Dream. Now, Wrestle Dream. One had 5 matches. 2 actually were worth the crap. One was one of the best Hell in Cell matches we're ever going to have. The other one was just a fun.
Both the last 2 pay-per-views from both promotions were good, decent, okay. Not like the quality we've expected lately from both as far as like the pay-per-views go. Mm-hmm. Because like with Bad Blood, the Hell in a Cell match was amazing. Main event was really good. Stuff in the middle, and where with Wrestle Dream, there were some very good matches, including with the International Title Triple Threat being the match of the night, and some okay matches.
So, I mean, it's hard to compare because there's so many more matches.
I would give the slight edge to Wrestle Dream because it had more better matches than Bad Blood did. But it had more matches than Bad Blood, so it's like, yeah, both shows are like good, not great.
I always say, like, and when it comes to the big shows, both I always put the slight edge to AEW as far as if you compared every pay-per-view, compare each one through year by year, I would give the slight edge to AEW because I think their match quality, there's more matches, and the match quality is always good.
Very consistent with their pay-per-views being quite good. Outside of like World's End last year, which was definitely like their weakest pay-per-view, there was a lot of bad on that pay-per-view.
Because if this was like, if you showed this Wrestle Dream pay-per-view to anyone, they'd be like, that was fun.
Yeah.
But because we hold AEW to a higher standard when it comes to pay-per-views, this one just became fine.
Yeah.
Type of thing. If you want to know our scale, we're not saying that Wrestle Dream was terrible. It was just, we've known them to do better.
It was good. It was fine.
Yeah. No. All right. Shall we move on to Smackdown?
Yeah, let's go back to WWE and talk about Smackdown.
All right. Jimmy. Good old Jimmy.
All right, here's a recap of what happened on last week's episode of Friday Night Smackdown. Show opened with Jimmy Uso coming out to cut a promo. Fans gave him a welcome back chant. He promised that he was going to kick his little brother, so Sikoa's behind. Roman Reigns then came out, and in a different move, he told the crowd to acknowledge Jimmy. He told him that Jimmy told Roman he's got his back, but they still need help against Solo and Company. He's the chief of that tribe. Fans knew this was going, start chanting yeet, but Roman said to Jimmy, no yeet. Jimmy then told him that he's always going to be his tribal chief, but he's the only one in the family who still acknowledges him. That leaves Roman with stuff to ponder as he walks out. Then we had U.S. title match. LA Knight defending against Carmelo Hayes. Good stuff. LA Knight wins clean with the BFT. Last Legend Shakira Jackson are looking to get their hands on the women's tag titles. They're coming out for a tag title match against Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, but Kevin Owens runs out with a microphone trying to explain why he attacked Cody after Bad Blood. Gets his mic cut off, and security comes out. Cody comes out to confront him, but Randy says he'll take care of it. He tries to get in the ring, and KO accidentally hits him in the head, elbows him, and then Randy punches him back, much to his shock. After that was all cleared, we got the tag team title match. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defeated Lash Legend and Shakira Jackson of Meta-4 to retain the titles. Randy told Nick Cody that he would talk to Kevin Owens and try to get this straightened out. And all this joked about Randy Orton being the voice of reason for a change. Nia Jackson took strutting around the ring, cutting a promo. She promises to annihilate Liv at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view in the Champion vs. Champion match for the Crown Jewel Championship. And then she said that Tiffany will cash in and take Morgan's title after she's done with her. Naomi came out to interrupt, wanted to fight Jax, and she called for a referee. But then Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, and Raquel Rodriguez showed up as well to watch the match. There was shenanigans at ringside during the match. Raquel got her hands on the Money in the Bank briefcase and blasted Nia in the back behind the ref's back with it. And that allowed Naomi to powerbomb her out of the corner and pin her to win the non-title match. Rhea Ripley then came out to attack Liv and Company, and they escaped. She also took out Nia Jax in the chaos as well. Carmelo Hayes complained about Andrade costing him his U.S. title match because he was at ringside during the match. And he says he's going to book one more match between him and Andrade, the seventh match. Winner will get another U.S. title shot. Legado Fantasma came in to complain to Nick Aldis about them not getting a title shots. And Nick Aldis said that he has a special tag team to face Angel Umberto next week. Motor City Machine Guns, most likely. And speaking of that, right after that, there was a vignette hyping the Motor City Machine Guns coming to SmackDown and that they'd be arriving next week. Yeah. Nick Aldis tells an angry Street Profits DIY that they've had their shots and that there's a new team coming in next week. They're arguing about getting another shot at the Bloodline, but then all of a sudden security comes to all this, and we find out that Kevin Owens is attacking Randy Orton and has to be broken up by security. Then we had the main event, Sol Sikoa taking on Jimmy Uso. Jimmy was able to hit the finisher, but nothing happened. He went for, but thanks to Jacob Fatu interference, he got Simone spiked and Solo pinned him to pick up the victory. The Bloodline started to beat him down. Roman ran in for the save and got laid out as well. The Bloodline stood tall as Jimmy looked at Roman with the obvious, yes, we do need help look on his face to close out the show. So that all happened on last week's episode of Friday Night SmackDown.
I mean, I was just we're Bloodline Civil War. We're getting it, yay! Slowly but surely. With that,
I'm sure there will be a big pop. Also, there'll be a big pop when Jay agrees to re-team with Jimmy and Roman when it happens.
Yeah,
it's gonna take some time, of course. Which I'm glad the way they're doing it. We'll get to that in Raw. I like the setup here though with Jimmy obviously talking sense to Roman, like, okay, yeah, you got me, but we're still outnumbered. We still need help.
Yeah.
And understandably, Roman doesn't think that they need Jay's help, but Jimmy understands. It's the numbers game here. It's like they need backup.
Mm-hmm.
I like that immediately, without having to. He didn't even say Jay's name when he's talking about we need help. The fans immediately start chanting because they know. It's like right. I love how Roman just went no yeet. which got him boos, even though they love Roman right now. It's like they don't want to hear him say no yeet, but
no.
So that was a good setup, and then it's like, it's like, and them getting beat down and losing. It's like it, and I love how Jimmy was looking at Roman like, dude, like I told you, we need help. It's like we're outnumbered.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I liked how all that played out. Carmelo versus LA Knight was good. Good match.
Yeah, I mean that triple threat's going to be so good.
I think that's where you think it's. You think that's where it's heading?
That's where it's going. I mean, why would you not at this point? Obviously, LA's not going to take the pin, but by one of them or anything to go into. But I think it's just going to be at one point there's going to be interruptions and there's going to be all-out war. There's going to be separation. Nick Aldis will be like, "Fine, we'll settle all this as a triple threat." You know how you can book that. But that's where we're going. I mean, these three have cooked. So I mean, obviously it's LA Knight, but Melo and Andrade have been so good with their feud as well that they've earned this triple threat.
Absolutely.
With that, so I'm good there. I do want to show this as far as after the match. WWE shared this today. Hopefully, it won't play the music. But this is what happened.
This is real bloodline. Can't nobody touch us. Can't nobody stop us. You can't touch us, and the tribal chief can't touch us. Oh, wait, that's me. I'm the real tribal chief. Can't nobody touch me.
Talking smack.
Yeah. Oh, real oh, wait, that's me. So it was good there. What did you think of the tag match between the Powerpuff Girls and Lash?
I thought it was fine. I thought they got to look all right.
I was glad that they were showing. This is what I like about them gradually introducing these NXT wrestlers on the main roster without and showing what they can do. So that way
they're very they're very high on the metaphor here because we're getting into it. They're they got into more stuff in concerning the tag team division on Raw and that bled into NXT as well. So no, it's like a chance to see. It's like obviously they want to see what how they can do on the main roster against the big name talent like Bianca and Jade. So I thought that they acquitted themselves well.
I will ask this question because we basically do it like every other month. So this is has Jade Cargill improved since signing with WWE question that comes up every time, or because they keep protecting her?
That's a really good question.
I think she's made strides, but not the strides that we were expecting.
Right. I think she's improved in some areas, but she could still has some more work to do, I think.
Yeah.
And they're definitely the way that's why they're having her do a lot of the tag match stuff, because that's like, it doesn't have to do as much.
Right.
And also she enjoys it. Her and Bianca have become very good friends.
Yeah.
You can tell they enjoy working together. So, hey, it's like, it's all about building things between them, let them have a good run, and then they're eventually going to turn on each other.
Which brings me to my next thing and why I hate this freaking crown jewel. Stop pinning your champions.
Right. God, yeah. Look, I love Naomi, but it's like you shouldn't have your champion lose, even in a cheating fashion like that. Because like Raquel blasted her with the Money in the Bank briefcase behind the ref's back, so it's not a clean win, but plus where is that going to lead? I mean, is Naomi going to get a title shot against her after Crown Jewel? She probably will try to leverage that, most likely.
Yeah, but it's just the thing of like, when you're the champion, you shouldn't take a pin. That's just like my biggest pet peeve in wrestling. Or the worst booking stuff ever when it comes to pinning champions is, all right, I'll face you, but you can't get a title shot unless you beat me. Well, you're going to get beaten. And then so that title shot loses its luster because we just saw you got pinned by the same person.
Right.
So didn't really care for that, but
no.
But yeah, no. I mean, other than that, thought the show was fine.
Yeah.
Definitely got dipped the toe in the water of, and then we got the Randy Orton stuff. Oh, I do want to pull that up. Speaking about that, because Randy Orton was trying to make what was it? I like Nick Aldis, who's like,
Randy Orton. There's a reason.
There's a reason. Who would have thought? Voice. Anyway. Let me see. Randy Orton and...
Yeah, this is very interesting where this is going.
Yeah.
Between the three of them.
Yeah. Here it is. And here's the backstage stuff that they're starting to do now.
Yeah, they released the footage here.
Yeah. With that. There's no sound, by the way. But yeah, we get, them just doing stuff, and then Kevin just says, screw it. Starts attacking them. So then we had that, and then I will pull up Kevin Owens' remarks.
Yep.
As well. So yeah, guys, this is stuff we can actually show, and this is the cool thing that WWE is trying to do now. If I could find it, just bear with me. As soon as I find Kevin Owens, he might have just tweeted it out himself. Let me see if I can. I don't even know.
Go for it.
Oh, well, it would help if I spelled his name right. Probably help if I were able to do that. All right. Got that. Here we go. This was posted 2 days ago or something?
Ever since Bad Blood, there's been a lot of questions about why I did what I did to Cody. There's been a lot of judgments, too. A lot of people judging.
He's still wearing the RKO shirt.
And as much as I'd love to explain myself, give my side of the story and speak my mind. WWE has not allowed me to do that. They have done the opposite. Actually, they've tried to shut me up, it seems, because they wouldn't let me come to SmackDown. They told me to stay home last Friday, even though I belong there. And when I showed up anyway, they cut my mic and did everything they could for me not to be able to talk. And then over the weekend, I sent them a video that I hoped they would air on Raw last night, and they didn't. So nobody could hear what I have to say. But of course, they have plenty of time for Cody to talk, but not for me. And look, the last thing I want to do is do this on social media. I hate it. So I'm giving them until Friday, this Friday on SmackDown, to air my video so that people could hear what I have to say. And if they don't, then I guess I'll post it here.
So this is going into because they started airing like Seth.
You know, also it's interesting that he's wearing a Randy shirt, despite the fact that he attacked Randy.
Mm-hmm. So, but this kind of alludes to, and that's what I was hoping for, and they were getting to with the Cody with Cody and where he's at now and how he got here. Okay, because if you think about it, follow me on this trail here. Cody left on his own accord, goes and does his own thing, didn't like it, signs back with WWE, then they push him to the moon, right? It's just from KO's perspective.
Yeah.
All right. But him and his bloodline do all this stuff. So it's like, fine, I'll help you out. We have a common enemy. Do this. We have friendship, all this stuff. But when it came time, they still showed you favoritism. I was in the back burner. You had to go get the match for me. I didn't earn it. Number one, you know, with the match with him at was it? I forget exactly where the pay-per-view was that they finally had their match. Then, you know, obviously they're teasing that. Then he teams with Roman. And that was kind of, you know, the final straw of that. And him standing in the ring with Roman side by side at the end of that pay-per-view. Like that really probably pushed Kevin over the edge. And then who knows what what actually said with him and Randy.
Yeah,
but I think when they were pulling him off of Randy, he was like, "You're going to side with them?"
Well, I think it's because he didn't. I don't know if I think maybe why he did the video is because he realized that he didn't realize that he elbowed Randy in the face from behind. He didn't see who it was, so he didn't understand why Orton attacked him. He thought he was taking Cody's side. So it's very interesting where this is going to go. Is it a full heel turn? Or is something else going to happen? So it's like, I kind of like how they're doing this with the, with the videos and everything, and then his response they put up. It's very interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting. And apparently AEW went full bore to try and sign Kevin Owens, but we knew.
Yeah. It's like he's very happy with WWE and especially with Triple H in charge. So I felt good about him resigning.
Yeah, and then just to hype us up, here's Randy Orton at a house show. I'm not going to play it because you can hear his music. I'm not going to play the audio, but you can at least read it. Because I'm not going to play it because audio, so... Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, so Randy's not happy.
No, Randy's not happy. So there you go. So we've got Cody. When Cody's dealing with, so this is like the in between thing while Cody's doing the dumb shit with Gunther.
Yeah,
and it's not dumb. It's just it's not dumb that we're getting Gunther in Cody. It's dumb because it's unnecessary.
Right.
That's why it's dumb. It has nothing to do with the fact that I'm totally looking forward to seeing Gunther and Cody. but it's just like we're saying, it's unnecessary because it's like, all right, Saudi, you want a champion versus champion? Fine. Here's Cody and Gunther. Here's Liv and Nia. We're going to try and make this happen, but we don't want to do this anyway.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to Raw.
Oh, one other thing before.
Okay.
Breaking news, kind of TNA related, because I just was peeking in to see what was happening on their weekly show because it got Bob Fleer coming up. A big twist to the Joe Hendry Nick Nemeth TNA title match. Frankie Kazarian announced he's going to be the special guest referee.
Nice.
So that's going to add a lot of drama to this title match. If he screws Joe Hendry to win the title, it's like they may have it right on their hands.
Apparently, Joe Hendry's trying to get on Eurovision.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah. It'd be cool if he does.
Hold on. We said it. Just we always
wait.
Gotta double check. Hold on. Nope.
Okay.
All right. We're good. We said it.
Oh, yeah,
he's
not here. Okay.
He's not here. All right. Cool. Okay. Whew. All right. Because he first teased. He said someone was like, "Oh, Joe Hendry fell off," and people are like, "He's wrestling for the title." And then Joe Hendry responded to that person being like, "Find out in 4 months." And I'm like, "Is his contract up in 4 months?" And then it was a Eurovision thing. I'm like, okay. Well,
yeah, because also people thought that he was referring to the Rumble as well.
Right. Which he still could be. Because we don't know. We do not know how long this deal stretches out.
Yeah, he could show. I will not be. I would expect him to show up in the Rumble.
Oh yeah, 1,000%. I expect him to show up in the Rumble. It's gonna be great. All right. Here we go.
Let's go to Raw. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. Rhea Ripley came out to open the show to cut a promo, calling out Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for an ass kicking. Tiffany Stratton came out saying that she had a message on her backs. Nia wants Rhea to stay out of her business with her match with Liv Morgan at Crown Jewel, or there's going to be a problem. And Ripley says she doesn't have time for this and threatens to beat up Tiffany. Then Liv and Raquel came out and attacked both of them and laid them both out. Rhea wanted a match with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. In the show, Adam Pearce said yes and named Tiffany Stratton her partner, much to her disappointment. Then the WWE Women's Tag Team titles are on the line. Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair defend against Damage Control. Minute 4 of Lash Legend, Keir Jackson at ringside. They got into it with Damage Control, and that allowed the champs to take advantage, and Bianca hit with the KOD to retain the titles. Finn Balor went to Adam Pearce, wants a rematch with Damian. But Adam Pearce says that he and JD need to worry about defending the tag team titles. He's holding a number 1 contenders tournament. Winner will face them for the titles at a later date. Finn was not happy about that. Braun Breaker shown cutting a promo saying that Jey Uso was lucky to beat him for the title. He showed Jey respect, but he felt that Jey didn't show the respect back, so therefore all bets are off now. Jey's just living off his family name, but Breaker does not. And that he's going to take the title back. Then Adam Pearce had a sit-down pre-taped interview with Bronson Reed. Pearce said that Reed has made an impact and apologized for any kind of issues between the two of them. Reed blames Seth Rollins for his loss against Braun Strowman in the last Mod Stunning match and wants him in a match. And he says that if he gives him his match against Seth, all his problems are going to go away. Then we had the first match in the number 1 tag team contenders tournament. Alpha Academy taking on the returning War Raiders. Yes, Eric and Ivar are back to being the War Raiders. No more of the Viking Raiders. They easily squashed Otis and Tozawa to pick up the victory and advance in the tournament. Welcome back. Pearce went to talk to Seth Rollins about facing Bronson Reed. Pearce says he's hesitant to make the match, but because he doesn't want Seth to get hurt, but Rollins says that that's part of being a pro wrestler and says that he needs to face Bronson Reed as well and to make the match. Cody Rhodes came out to a check talking about facing Gunther at Crown Jewel in this champion versus champion Crown Jewel championship thing. Gunther came out to respond. Words were exchanged, but the two shook hands and parted in peace. Dragon Lee was shown to have a video package hyping him up. Recapped New Day's recent issues as Kofi took on Braun Breaker in a one-on-one match. Braun picked up the victory with a spear. Afterwards, he kept beating on Kofi until Jey Uso and Xavier Woods ran down to make the save. Damian Priest asked Rhea if he wants him to back her up tonight in the tag match, but she said, no, I got this. Told Priest to go get the world title back from Gunther. Jay went into his locker room and found his brother Jimmy waiting for him. He asked if Jay has a second to talk, and Jay didn't respond and left. R-Truth took on The Miz. Thanks to a distraction from Final Testament, R-Truth is able to get the surprise roll, pick up the victory. Afterwards, AOP beat up R-Truth for Miz and threw him back in, and Miz hit a skull-crushing finale on R-Truth. Jimmy Uso hunted down Jay, saying that he just wants to hear him out and talk to him and to hear him out, but Jay tells him no and walks away and tells him to get out of his face. Then we had the main event, Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton taking on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Match going back and forth until Nia Jax came out and caused a disqualification. There was a big brawl afterwards. Tiffany teased cashing on Liv Morgan, but Dominic Mysterio was able to get her out of the ring to save her as Nia and Tiffany exchanged words with them and Raquel to close out the show. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw.
Were you surprised that Jimmy was on the show so quickly?
No, I expected him to show. I expected him to show up either this week or next week. So I was a little surprised it did this week, but I liked it, and also it played out exactly as it should have. Jay's like, I don't want to hear what you have to say. I don't want to talk to you because of the way things ended between them. It's like he's not interested in hearing what he has to say at all. So, so I think Jimmy has to do some actions that will speak louder than any kind of words that he can say. Mm-hmm. So, especially because Braun's getting his rematch against Jay, and I don't think Braun is jobbing to Jay twice in a row.
Nope. And also too, that was a cool ass promo that Braun cut. Especially
explaining why he did the fake face turn.
Right. Well, I like the way they wrote the script, but here's how the script's supposed to go. You're asking why I came back. Well, it's because the Saudi show came up, and they spent a bunch of money and gave us a bunch of money, so therefore I couldn't go after Gunther. Also, an old guy is still trying to get that last thing of glory that they tell me I have to take a back seat on. So I guess I'll keep you as a victim. I don't know, something like that.
I like your explanation. It's not bad either.
No. So there you go. That's why we're still here with Braun, is because of the Saudi stuff and Goldberg. But I mean, it is what it is. I'll say this. I don't think it stinks because we've seen this before, so we kind of get a little of that PTSD of that bad booking of like, oh, we teased this, and then we're immediately going to go back to square one again of the 50-50 stuff. So that's why we're having like, why are we doing this? When really, in hindsight, you're like, just get through the Saudi show. Let's have that one off with Goldberg and Gunther, because Braun's not going anywhere, right? So I'm still okay with it. But I think Braun is now back in limbo compared to the trajectory that he was on. That's the only thing. I don't think it's hurting him, but it's
what
just.
I'm wondering is he going to beat Jay clean to get it back, or is Solo and company going to do something to fuck with Jay?
I don't know. I guess there's no reason for them.
There's no reason for that. It's like Jay's been on their show. They have not targeted him in any way. So unless they decide to do something preemptive, so to make sure that he doesn't. But that would backfire because attacking him would start to change his mind. So,
I guess as far as using a historical comparison, the Bloodline attacking Jay is like the Japanese bombing Pearl Harbor. There was no reason to do it, but you brought that on. You brought that on. Right. Thing.
So we'll see. But I think odds are highly likely Braun's winning the title back.
Gotcha.
Because I don't see him jobbing to Jay twice. That
no,
would be
but I would like the dynamic of Jay still having Intercontinental Championship.
Right.
And and still, because I think that just puts more weight.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're doing the rematch so quickly.
Yeah, that's the only thing. So
also, it's not going to be on Saudi on Crown Jewel either, which is also interesting.
Yeah, it stinks that Otis and Tozawa job, but it's great to see the War Raiders.
This is one of the positives show. Return of the War Raiders, both back from injury. They've both been out for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Eric out longer than Ivar. Because Ivar was wrestling solo for a while he was out, and then he got injured too. So cool that they both came back at the same time. They got their old NXT name back, and their old theme music is back as well. So happy to see them back. Tag division needs them.
Man, Kyrie and EO is so good. that elbow that they did
about that match. Although it was nice to see the Warriors back, and it's cool that they won. Feel bad for Alpha Academy that they're in Jobberville right now.
Yeah, they're in Jobberville. But yeah, that tag match between the Powerbuff Girls and Damage Control, that I didn't. Yeah, it was good, and also it still kept Lash and all that.
Yeah, Metaphor got into it with Damage Control, and we'll get into more of that because that led to something that a challenge was issued on NXT by Metaphor.
Yeah.
So.
But that Kyrie elbow spot, like the middle of the ring, was really cool.
Yeah, it was.
I really like that. Trying to think here. The Cody Rhodes and Gunther promo was kind of like
it's fine. It's like they're doing their best to try to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool that they're facing off, but it's like the reasons behind it. I'm just like not that enthusiastic about it. And plus, one of them has to do the job, which is also not. They're in between a rock and a hard place with this match. Where neither one of them can be taking a pinfall right now, but Triple H said that there will be a definitive winner, so there's not going to be any kind of like draw or screwy finish.
Yeah.
The only way that one of them's going to lose probably because of shenanigans.
Oh yeah, part of me
clean. Neither one of them is going to take a clean pinfall loss in this match.
Part of me just wants.
It's going to be shenanigans.
I want both of the. Part of me just wants both of these matches to be a no contest, just to fuck with somebody.
I wish. Yeah, but they can't. It's like Triple H said that there will be a winner, so it's like.
What do you make of the Dragon Lee getting a vignette?
Maybe they're getting ready to push him finally properly.
I mean, Intercontinental Championship.
It's the only thing that makes sense to me. Yeah. Him in the Intercontinental title picture is a good thing, especially with Ilya out until next year with ACL injury. It sucks because he's not going to be back until summertime next year after Mania. Best case scenario.
So that main event, do you think that was just super overbooking or?
Yeah, it was overbooked.
Okay, it's like oh god, and then like Tiffany.
I mean, you had Tiffany and it's like you had Nia show up. You also had Raquel and Dominic, and it's like it's like Dominic doing stuff, and then Nia coming in. They're definitely setting up that when Tiffany turns on Nia, it's because she's going babyface. It's not like a heel, it's like a heel turn kind of turn, more like she's taking enough crap from. It's like what happened with Sammy leaving the bloodline. It's like he finally enough was enough. He couldn't take it anymore. Turns on him, and now he's babyface. That's what they're doing with Tiffany. They're building up toward. When she finally turns on Nia and cashes in that contract, it's like the fans are going to love it, and which they will because they love Tiffany. And just don't stop having her lose matches here. You got to like seriously. It's like
right.
It's like I'm just waiting, baby. It's like come on.
Yeah. It's gonna happen, Justin. Just take a deep breath. It's gonna happen.
I want Tiffany.
One of my favorite nuggets of this show though was when Liv introduced Raquel to the rest of Judgment Day, and Carlito just drops his apple.
Yeah, right.
He's like,
yeah, their reaction to like, oh yeah, Raquel, she's part of Judgment Day now.
And then I liked how they finally brought up the fact that Judgment Day hasn't hasn't really defended the titles a lot.
Right? No, it's like they are.
They poked fun of the fact it's like, guys, we get it. Like we know they haven't defended a lot, but then Finn was like,
So,
what are you talking about? We did defend. He goes, yeah, once a month.
So which babyface team is going to win this tournament and get a title shot?
Part of me wants the War Raiders because I think that'd be a fun match, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Wyatt Six aren't going to be involved.
Yeah,
they're doing Miz
not going to. Creed's a heel, so I don't see them winning it. Yeah, it's weird to see who's going to come out of this.
DIY. No, but yeah, I would say probably the.
Well, things are looking up with the tag division. I mean, the War Raiders are back on Raw, and Motor Machine Guns are going to debut tomorrow on SmackDown. So, everyone, I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
The Lucha Brothers, they're going to win it. Yep, that's what's going to happen. Yep. Lucha Brothers. I guess this means with Dragon Lee getting this vignette, then
obviously they're setting up for a push.
You're right. So, anything else that stuck out to you on this show? Saudi stuff is such a freaking
it was a very mass show.
Yeah, it's just the Saudi stuff.
Yeah, it's putting, like, this is like it's like because of Crown Jewel, like some stuff is progressing for stuff that's going to happen leading into Survivor Series, but a lot of stuff is kind of like in a holding pattern because of Crown Jewel, especially what's going on between the women's champion and men's champions as a result.
We're in a.
At least we're getting progress. Like they're building up toward the Seth Rollins Bronson Reed match, which is going to rock.
Yes, that's going to rock a really. And I love Bronson's little. I mean, he's like we said. I don't think it was like 3-4 months ago when they still really wasn't figuring out how to book him. And I was just when I kind of brought it, I was like, dude, is Bronson Reed kind of got the whole package? And you were like, yeah, he kind of does. So it was great to see that.
Mm-hmm.
And Seth. I it's hard to get away from it, but the fashion with his baby face and him being more bloodthirsty, he needs to get away from the exuberant.
He's definitely he's more serious focused Seth instead of like cackling jokey Seth
right
now, which is good.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. We were excited about Raw going back to 2 hours, but we haven't had a good Raw since they've gone back to 2 hours yet. Like both the first 2 weeks of the 2 hour Raw have not been spectacular. So hopefully we could. I hope by the time Crown Jewel is over with that show starts to get back into a groove again, leading to Survivor Series.
Yep, for sure.
Now the word is that what I felt they were probably teasing is word is that they're looking at Punk challenging Gunther for the world title Survivor Series, which makes sense because he's going to be back after the Saudi show's over because that's why he's away for now because he's not going to do the Saudi show. And he called out Gunther after the strap match, thinking that he'd put Drew behind him, and he called out Gunther, but then Drew attacked him again, and that led to Hell in a Cell to pull off the feud. So he's definitely going to be back in the title picture against Gunther when he gets back. He's going to be like, so now that I'm done with Drew McIntyre, it's like I want some gold around my waist.
Yeah, something of that nature.
Now the question is, when is Drew going to come back? And number two, what's he going to do? And now that he lost the Punk at Hell in a Cell and the feud is over with, what's he going to do now? What's next for him? That it's like there's a lot of questions there.
I think at this point, any direction he goes is going to be fine. But it's just he's definitely in the. I'm interested to see where he goes, but I don't think it's going to be a wrong decision either
I see why JD from New York, other people are thinking maybe that Drew should be traded to SmackDown for somebody, because it's going to be weird trying to find a way to justify him being still being on the same show with Punk after what happened. So we'll see what they do with it. He's missed for sure. Hopefully he'll be back soon, because we know Punk will be back once Crown Jewel's over with.
Yep. All right, let's move on to Dynamite, and then I'm just gonna hand as soon as we're done. I'm just be like, all right, Justin, have at it.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about the show. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite. Fallout from WrestleDream. Show opened with footage from WrestleDream showing Moxley defeating Bryan Danielson for the title. And then Wheeler Yuta turning on him and helping him choke him out and getting stretched out afterwards. Moxley cut a promo from the back of the truck with Yuta saying that AEW, what AEW has come as makes him sick. All dancing and partying, all egos, and nobody caring about what's really important. Says that he's going to burn everything down and rebuild it. Everyone's making too much money and getting soft. And that he sent a message to everyone in AEW that they all work for him now. Then we open with Adam Cole coming out with a cut of promo. Cut a promo on MJF explaining, it's like that he's recapping what happened with MJF last year, saying they're not finished and he wants MJF in a one-on-one match. MJF appeared on the Tron in response, saying that thanks to Cole's betrayal last year, he will never trust anyone again. And he's not going to let him get his revenge. He's going to dangle the carrot, but never let him have it as his way of payback. But Adam Cole said that he can run but can't hide, and he'll find a way to get his hands on him. Then he told FDR good luck on taking care of the learning tree. FDR took on the learning tree in the form of Brian, Keith, and Big Bill. FDR picked up the victory of the Shadow Machine. Afterwards, Jot Runners came out to celebrate them with them after the match. He claimed Billy Gunn were being interviewed. Billy went to leave, and after he left, MVP and Shelton Benjamin came in, gave Max Caster their business card, said they want to do business with them. Bones says that they don't need anything from them. They left, but Max Caster put the card in his pocket. Then we had TBS title match, Mercedes Moné defending against Queen Aminata. Mercedes picked up the victory with the statement maker making her tap out. Private Party wanted another rematch with the Young Bucks for the titles, and the Bucks told him that, no, that's not going to happen, brother. So the Hagley came in and said that they've been here since the Obama administration and done nothing. He suggested maybe that they put their unity as a team on the line for another rematch, and that if they lose, they'll break up or something. They seem to ponder the idea. The Elite announced that it was Kenny Omega's birthday, and they had a cake for him. But then they dumped a whole bunch of intestines on top of it. Jack Gray said, "Get well soon, Kenny, or die. We don't care." And Okada added the bitch. Obviously teasing Omega is coming back soon. The Elite took on the Conglomeration in a tag team match. But Wheeler Yuta came out and attacked Kyle O'Reilly for the DQ. The rest of the Blackpool Combat Club came out, Moxley and company. Attacking the Conglomeration. The Elite just stood there and did nothing in the rampway. Other baby faces came out. The Dark Order, Top Flight, tried to make the save. They got beat down as well. Moxley made it clear that this is just the cost of doing business. And then they left. Daniel Garcia and others came out to make the save again to force him out. Daniel Garcia and Private Party confronted the Elite in the back saying, why didn't they help? They said it's none of their business. And Daniel Garcia, it is because they're EVPs of this damn company. He and Jack Perry got into it, and he and Private Party agreed to watch each other's backs, what's going on. Shelton Benjamin took on Leah Rush. Shelton Benjamin picked up the victory. After the match, MVP cut a promo saying that Shelton wants a match with Swerve anytime, anywhere. Swerve cut a promo in the back of Prince Don, responded saying that he accepts Shelton's challenge and they'll face each other in a match one-on-one in 2 weeks. Don Callis came out with the Don Callis family for his own little personal press conference. Lance Archer and Brian Cage apparently is now a member of the family. He said that Cage and Archer are going to go after the tag titles. Takeshita said he's going to defend the international title anytime, anywhere. Kyle Fletcher teased, revealing why he turned on Ospreay, but told the fans they don't deserve to know. Mariah Way complained about no competition when Anna Jay came up with Kurt Fronter and they got into it, and that led to Christopher Daniels getting hit in that face by Anna Jay. Ricochet wants a rematch with Takeshita since he didn't get pinned for the title, and also lays an open challenge for anyone to face him on Collision this weekend. Moxley and company were again attacking Dark Order Dark Flight in the back. They laid him out and then left. Dark Order issued a challenge to face them on Collision, and Top Flight was looking to probably go after the Trios titles. Then we had the main event, Christian Cage taking on Jay White. Back and forth stuff here. Finish looked like there was some miscommunication because Kip Sabian came out to cause a distraction. Heyman Page came down, looked like he was going to interfere, but then hit by the ringside. They replayed it again with Kip again distracting the referee, and then Hangman hit the buckshot lariat on Jay White behind the ref's back, allowing Christian Cage to pin him to pick up the victory. So that all happened on this week's episode of AEW Dynamite.
The floor is yours, sir.
Oh my god!
I will put you front.
Okay, this show was a mess. Oh my god, where do I begin? Okay, you're coming off the big angle with the Moxley Company choking Bryan Danielson out with a bag again and him getting stretchered out. And you don't have any of the major baby faces who are there cutting any promos about what happened and voicing their anger and disgust toward Moxley. Don't hear any of them speak about it. And then on top of that, then you have the Blackpool Combat Club just completely waste to a bunch of people. Now, people are obviously fighting back, but then you're getting people like the Dark Order and Top Flight involved who people aren't going to buy as like any kind of threat to the bad guys here because they've been treated like jobbers for so long. It is kind of ridiculous. And then the fact that the Elite is kind of like sucked into this. They're still heels, which is a more glaring example of the failure of the whole angle with the new Elite, who were in an invasion takeover style program. They were literally trying to take over the company. They laid out Tony Khan. That's completely dropped, and now we got Moxley and company are doing their own version of a takeover. So it's kind of like Tony was like, okay, this didn't work, so let's we're going to do another takeover invasion angle, but we're going to have Mox and company do it, and we're probably going to do it better. So it's just like, and logic dictates that they wouldn't be involved in care because their whole thing about the Elite is that they wanted to take over and control AEW because they wanted to make AEW better. So them saying that it's none of their business when Moxley and them are making it clear that this is a hostile takeover of the company, and Moxley basically declared, you all work for me now, which basically means he's trying to take over AEW, saying that it's none of their business makes no fucking sense.
This has, because I heard rumors. By rumors, I've watched a couple of the news stations, news sites, like Wrestle Talk, Cultaholic, What Culture, all them. Apparently, the reason that they stopped doing the Young Bucks, the Elite, running the show is because this is a rumor that Tony, the way the angle was that Tony wouldn't get credit for booking it. And I'm like, are people that dumb, Tony? Is your ego that brittle that you
seriously? That's what the rumor is?
That's what the rumor is. And so this has everything of, this isn't Shane McMahon walking through that door. This is Eric Bischoff / Tony Khan joining the NWO. That has that looking all over it. If that rumor is true, this has to link up properly. Because guess what? If Shane McMahon comes out and he's the one that's leading this group, that totally negates that rumor.
Yeah.
So, because then they'll say that Shane McMahon's going to get the, pat on the back saying, good job. You booked a really good show. So I just, because yes, I'm agreeing with you. That being said, Moxley is cutting some badass promos.
No, the promo he cut was awesome. And I'm really interested to see where it goes, especially because of who is pulling the puppet strings here. Because he's basically implying that it's like he has to do this. He doesn't want to do it, but he has to.
Well, that's kind of what Wheeler Yuta look on his face is the whole time.
Yeah.
He looks so like, I don't want to do this, but.
Yeah, it's like he was all like, I don't want to do this, but it's like, but like I have no choice kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's like they told him something that made him change his mind to turn on Bryan at the pay-per-view. So it's Although I found it hilarious that their Pac was carrying around a briefcase that they're saying that they think that maybe the world title's in there, but the world title is very large. It makes sense it would be in a duffel bag, not in a little briefcase like that. It's like it's a little bit much.
That being said, go last little thing.
It's like, and plus then the other bigger name baby faces take forever to get involved. Like even like I forgot during the pay-per-view, JR was like, "Well, what took you guys so long?" It's like because the people who tried to interfere in the first place got all their asses kicked tonight, and then they took forever to come out to help Danielson and Darby because like Darby was tied up and forced to watch. Well, that's the thing. Like Darby, Orange Cassidy, Garcia, they should have said. Like Garcia eventually did something because he was involved with trying to make the save against the help out the conglomeration along with Private Party, and then rightly confronted the Elite like, "Yo, you're the AVPs of this damn company. Why didn't you do anything?" And then it's not a problem. Bull fucking shit.
It just makes
no sense that they would not care. Just because they're heels? No, they're right now. Well, that's the other thing. The other thing is that this is kind of like a very interesting time because I forgot to mention this. All of the current AEW title holders are heels. There are no babyface champions right now in the promotion.
Mm-mm.
So, and plus, the Blackpool Combat Club has the world title and the trios titles, and the Elite have the other major men's titles. They have the tag titles, the TNT title, the Continental title. The only title, major singles title that they don't have is the international title, which Takeshita Don Callis family has. So between the Elite and the Blackpool Combat Club, they hold almost all of the major singles and multi-team titles in the promotion.
And your top babyface is feuding.
They do not belong to the women.
Yes, and your top babyface is going to feud with Bobby Lashley eventually.
Right. Now, and they're obviously setting up Swerve is with this feud with the Hurt Syndicate.
That's what I'm saying. Swerve being their biggest babyface.
I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen with the Lashley and everything, and who else is involved because they gave a card to Leo Rush. Leo Rush posted on his Twitter that he's looking at the card. And I mentioned it specifically because I caught it. If you weren't paying attention, Bowens told MVP and Shelton to get lost, that they're not interested. But Max Caster put the card in his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't rip it up. He didn't toss it. He kept it. And Bowens saw it.
Yeah. But speaking about that whole thing, that was my next thing is Shelton Benjamin. He still got it at 49.
He still got it. Him and Leo Rush had a really good match. One of the few highlights of this show.
Yeah.
It was a good match.
Really good stuff. There.
Yeah. The other thing that drives me nuts is the whole opening promo. Look, like I said, I'm a longtime Adam Cole fan. I love him. I'm happy he's back. But that promo trying to explain why he's a babyface now did not work. And you could tell that the fans were struggling with it because the only time that they got excited was when he was talking about kicking MJF's ass.
Yeah.
Most of the other time, they barely reacted to his whole explanation. Like they're not even buying it.
Right.
Because he's using this twisted logic. I'm like, well, I had to do it because I knew all along he was phony and a scumbag. So I had to fight evil with evil. And a quick side of like, I got to do this alone. Roddy and them, it's like to make it clear that he's now, as a babyface, divested from the Undisputed Kingdom, whose only purpose was because they helped him screw MJF over. Didn't even mention Wardlow. On top of that, no mention of him in when he was talking about the Undisputed Kingdom. That says a lot there. Because, by all accounts, what happened previously, Cole should still be the heel and MJF still be the face. But because they turned MJF back to heel with the Daniel Garcia angle, they have to have Cole be babyface if they want to finish this, give this feud the final blow off, which it didn't have. But by doing so, it's like you've created this yes, I see why you guys are doing this to finally blow this off, but their roles being reversed at this point with it where it should be doesn't make any damn sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like the match is probably going to be great because the previous matches between them have been fine, have been really good. But it's just like it's so convoluted. It's like and the whole Undisputed Kingdom is that whole angle is a huge failure now in hindsight. So that's a mess. And then another mess, which the main event was really good up until the very clearly botched finish run-in.
Kip Sabian missed his spot so bad.
Yes. And that caused Hangman to have to delay his run-in, where he basically had to be like this.
Oh yeah, that meme of like Hangman, like just
I don't think you saw me. I don't think the ref saw me.
Right. Just I don't know.
It's
just frustrating because it's all there, and it just
so that the referee didn't see him until Kip Sabian did the spot interference, distracting the ref again, so he could finally go in and hit Jay White the buckshot lariat to cost him the match. So that was a complete disaster. Like the match was really good, but that finish was just like, oh my god, come on, guys! Mm-hmm. They completely botched that. But obviously, things between Hangman and Switchblade are not over because of that. Now, you know what the other interesting thing is here? Like, what the hell are they going to do? Obviously, this Kip Sabian thing has got to lead to something because Christian is not cashing in that title shot anytime soon. Mm-hmm. Not when he's also a heel and Moxley's got the title. You think Christian's going to try to cash in on Moxley and company while he's holding the belt? Yeah, fucking right. It's like Christian's not that stupid, especially with Killswitch being out. He doesn't have Killswitch to give him any kind of backup. He's got is Nick Wayne and Mama Wayne. That's it.
Right.
It's like, so he's not going to be using that title shot for a while.
No.
Not until a babyface gets a hold of the title again.
Nope.
So that's going to be, that whole storyline is going to be put into limbo. So we'll see if the Kip Sabian stuff gives him something to do because they've been slow burning that thing. I want it to go somewhere. It's like, I don't know if he's trying to join Christian or just I don't know. Which is bad because I used to be a big fan of Kip Sabian, but it's like because they completely blew an opportunity to give him a good push when he spent a whole year with doing the thing where he had the bag over his head at ringside.
Yeah. Yep. So I don't know. Just the talent's there. Just do better. Make it make sense.
It's like you have to use basic logic, or it's gonna hurt people. And then Mercedes and Queen Aminata, they had a fine match. Fans didn't even give a shit. Why? Because you haven't given Aminata wins. She's lost most of her time. See, this is the problem. It's like sometimes some people say wins and losses don't matter. No, they do.
They do.
They do. If you want to build someone as a credible threat to a champion, they need to be winning matches. They need to look like a winner.
Exhibit A, Solo Sikoa that got buried for like a year straight. We still can't buy into him.
Exactly. And we've been talking about that with how Solo was treated. Between him beating Cena at Crown Jewel last year through Mania season, he was taking the pinfall of the bloodline left and right.
Mm-hmm.
So when he did the takeover, it took a long time for people to even consider him a legit threat. And then him jobbing the Cody twice doesn't help matters either. And then he got pinned by Roman again. So it's like that's a whole nother thing. That's an example. It's like someone is built up as a challenger, you got to have them win. Look what they did. The right example is Braun Breaker. Braun came up the main roster and went through people like a buzzsaw. He was a wrecking machine. He was dropping people with spears, and despite the fact he was heel, it got him so over that the fans like him, even though he's a heel.
Mm-hmm.
They want to cheer for him as a babyface, but they're still keeping him heel.
Just for Queen situation, like you're saying, like all she does is lose, so you can't build her up. So it's like, but wins and losses matter. Yes, they do. But Willow Nightingale is like a perfect example of she comes across a threat. Yes, she loses sometimes, but she still has built it. She has that.
But she also wins matches.
She also has enough belts around her waist in the past to know that she is a legit threat. Plus, she's just really freaking good.
Yeah, and then you can't just throw people in like Anna Jay being thrown back and thrown in this title picture out of nowhere. It's just like, it's nothing against Anna Jay. She's a fine wrestler, but it's like, and she has won matches lately, but you can't just, it's like not to the point where you can just thrust her. You know, she's going to do an eliminator match against Mariah May this weekend for the Battle of the Belt show. So it's like,
yeah.
And plus, it's still the fact that why can't Tony book more than women's match on this damn show?
I don't know. I mean, WWE has a hard time sometimes booking more than one women's match.
The only match was Mercedes Moné against Queen Aminata, and Mercedes was left off the pay-per-view without a match, which was still baffling to me. She still doesn't have a proper feud opponent yet, still, so she's kind of like in a friggin' limbo. Like the Queen Aminata thing was kind of built for a while, but it didn't buy her as a legit threat,
right?
And it's like, and they didn't even do a match on pay-per-view, so that says a lot right there. And Mariah May is reduced to having a backstage where she's like, "Where's my competition? Yeah, where is your competition?
Where is your competition?" Like typically, this is how it is, because Mariah, typically a heel, just sits back and just doesn't want to do anything.
And
but she's
actually how she got treated at the press conference, the post media scrum, where no one asked her any fucking questions. It's like I saw like so many people like rip the people the so-called journalists there to shreds for like, how can you not have one question ready to ask her? It was like dead fucking silence.
Yeah.
It's like I felt so bad for her. It's like it's like, are they like, it's some kind of weird hold pattern when Tony comes back to try to come after her again? I don't know. It's like at least the Willow thing was built up and they had a really good match. But other than that, it's like, yeah.
It just sounds like a Tony.
It's like why can't look NXT is not perfect, and you know it's like it has its ups and downs. But there's so many storylines and angles going on for women outside of the title picture. Like the big picture overall is the whole 4-way thing going on between Roxanne, Cora, Julia, Stephanie Vaquer. But below that, you got Fatal Influence wants to get their hands on the women's North American title, Kalani Jordan. You've got this thing developing between Carmen Vectoric and Shantae Adonis, so she's got something. The stuff that's been going on with Tatum Paxley and Wendy Chu. Then you got the Jada Parker versus Lola Vice feud that's just starting to cook. It's like there's all these storylines for the women's wrestlers who are not in the title picture, and it's like, and that doesn't. It's like. And they're able to do that in a 2-hour damn show on NXT.
Yeah.
Without overrun.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get an overrun like Dynamite does. Not anymore, now that they're on CW.
Well, CW.
So they're on a tight 2-hour window.
Yeah. So, like
and
we
they
said.
do more stuff with the women than Tony does with his on Dynamite. It's like there's like right now, outside of what's been going on with Mariah May, it's like Mercedes doesn't have like a serious challenge. It's like I would thought that they would set up another challenger after she beat Queen Anne, but nothing. It's like, and then you have other women who are talented, and it doesn't help that Britt Baker's out with strep throat, which sucks. Thunder Rosa's out with a concussion, which sucks. So 2 of your top names are sidelined by illness and injury right now. But you got all these others like Karu Shida, Nyla Rose, and all these other people are not being used. It's like give them something to do. It's like
I don't know. It's so like great. It's just he's such an indie booker of not knowing how to tell stories, but the matches are really.
This is why the ratings are so low.
Yeah, it's because you don't dangle a carrot, and then it's like they maybe tune in for like one segment, and it's you're turning into WWE in 2019, dude. It's just. We don't want you to, but just do better. Someone needs, and unfortunately, it's just none. I just think that that might be why Cody left. Because you realize, like, once Cody left, the storytelling went down to shit pretty quickly. So
it's frustrating because there is good stuff. Like I'm liking where the Swerve and this Hurt Syndicate thing that's built up well so far. You know, it looks like they're ready to push Garcia. They looks like they're going to do something with Private Party. We'll see if it ends up being positive. So, and you know, it's like the Jay White Heyman thing. That's definitely got my interest. I like what that's feud's been going so far.
It's just a lot of just. It's like looking at the Bloodline family tree. Yeah. Just like there's a lot of shit going on. I just need it to be more linear. Okay.
Yeah. It's just it's so frustrating, the inconsistency. It's just like it's like that's my feelings about it. It's like although my rant is about that's intense. I usually get it's like I don't try to get too much anger, but it's like you want to see a real rant about the state of AEW, go watch JD from New York, because oh my god, he has been unleashing lately about how awful the Dynamite and the booking in AEW has been lately. It's like you want to see it's like he's
yeah, I bet. Also, too, one thing, another rumor that I heard is that as far as AEW is concerned, which I did like how Lance Archer kind of looks like the Temu Drew McIntyre, the way he was dressed. Did you notice that?
Yeah,
he kind of looked like a knockoff Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
But they were saying that Triple H.
Oh, another thing. No explanation. Brian Cage is now part of Don Chaos family. That was out of nowhere.
Yeah, do you know that? You know that, man?
That was never. That's brand new to everybody. Everyone was like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, that's that New Japan style booking where if when they announce it, like they don't like have like, oh, he joined this person. They just come out with them like, oh, by the way, he's part of it. Like that's happens a lot in New Japan with the factions. It's dumb. It's just not how Americans take, what and like you have to make it make sense type of thing. But apparently Triple H really wanted Will Ospreay, and he wanted to even match or better AEW's offer, but TKO said no. That's the rumor that happened. So then they went to this whole petty thing, but apparently Triple H was not happy because he thought that Will Ospreay is the Will Ospreay that we see. So that's another saving grace that Tony has is you have Will Ospreay break glass in case of emergency. Will go set the internet on fire.
And I forgot to say also, I was glad that Takeshita won the title because Ospreay doesn't need that title right now.
Nope.
He's a couple months away from. He would be. It's like that would definitely blow off the roof. Him winning the title from Moxley, and like defending AEW.
Yeah,
But there seems like right now they're teasing either Darby or Orange being the first one to try to challenge Moxley for the world title. So, but he's going to be busy because he's going to feud with Kyle Fletcher for his betrayal. That's going to be his side feud a bit before they finally get him into the world title picture again.
And then when are we getting Kenny? Because that's what the Elite keep barking at.
Kota Ibushi's implying that Kenny's going to be back within the next month or two.
Interesting.
So that would explain why they did the whole like "Happy Birthday, Kenny" and "Fuck you."
Right with the
which I did like, especially "Happy Birthday, bitch."
Yeah, I mean, Okada and Kenny, man, like, come on, give it to me. I just all the time. I just fight forever. Okada and Kenny. All right, let's move on to the NXT.
Yeah, let's end on a positive note.
She should have been in the top 10, you bastards.
Yeah, she should have. All right, here's a recap of what happened on this week's episode of NXT. NXT was back at the Performance Center. Show opened with Tony D'Angelo and D'Angelo family in the ring celebrating him defeating Oba Femi for the North American title last week. Gave a toast to Oba out of respect. But Oba Femi came out, congratulated Don and beating him. He fooled him once, but he won't be able to do it again. And he's going to get his rematch. Apparently at Halloween Havoc because he went over and spun the wheel and it landed on a tables, ladders, and stairs match. Then we had Stephanie Becker making her in-ring debut on NXT, taking on Ren Sinclair of the No Quarter Catch Crew. Good stuff from both ladies. Stephanie Kirby picking up the victory, looking strong. Ren looking in defeat. After the match, Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade ran out and attacked Stephanie, beat her down. Julia ran out to make the save. They were the fight off the heels. Stephanie Becker grabbed a mic and challenged both of them to take on her and Julia in a tag team match at Halloween Havoc. There you go. Then we had Trick Williams talking with Klein Jordan in the back. Faye Williams was shown watching in the background. Then Lexis King made his way out for his match against Ora Mensa. There's a backstage scene with Ashante Adonis trying to hit on Carmen Veterick and Brindley Reese again, but they were interrupted by Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen. The flower he wanted to give Carmen was destroyed, a rose. He challenged Brooks to a match later in the show. Mr. Stone came in and said that he talked to David to make it official, while Carmen picked up the remnants of the rose. Then we had a gentleman's duel match, Ora Mensa taking on Lexis King. Rules were basically you couldn't strike your opponent when they were down on all fours on the ground. You couldn't toss them over the top rope. You had to answer a 3 count, not a 5 count to break, and no fighting on the outside. Any violations of those would result in disqualification. Lexis King ended up picking the victory clean to win the match. Afterwards, he offered his hand to Ora Mensa. Ora Mensa accepted it reluctantly and shook it. He raised Ora's hand, who's still skeptical about this apparent face turn for Lexis King. They recapped Metaphor being at ringside and getting into damage control against their in their tag title match against Bianca and Jade. And Metaphor challenged Damage Control to a match on NXT next week. Nikita Lyons' video was aired, hyping up her return tonight. Cut a promo saying that, well, she's been injured, she's got a bright future, and that she's ready to break out and take over. Then Nikita Lyons took on Lola Vice. Jada Parker came out during the match, and while the ref was distracted, attacked and laid out Lola outside, put her back in the ring. Nikita took advantage and hit her with a Vader bomb to pin her and pick up the victory in her return, and further the Lola Vice Jada Parker feud. Ava was in her office with Stephanie, Becker, and Julia, saying she was excited about the tag team match. Faye Lewins came in complaining about what's been going on, and Ava decided that if they want to earn a shot, they'll have to go through Stephanie and Julia next week in a tag match. Then we had Riley Osborne taking on Ridge Holland again in a grudge match. Riley put up a fight, but Ridge picked up the victory. He went to lay out Riley on the announce table again, just like he did to Andre Chase. But Andre Chase music hits, and Chase U leader returned, attacking Ridge and saving Riley Osborne, much to him and Thea Hale's happiness. Brian Saxon was talking to Paxton in the back. And Jada Parker interrupted and promising that she was going to take care of Lola Vice. Tatum didn't appreciate Jada interrupting her and implying that she's going to pay. Then we had Brooks Jensen taking on Ashante Adonis. During the match, Carmen Vectra came out and dumped the remnants of the rose at ringside for him to see, and that seemed to spur Ashante. But in the end, Brooks hit him with his draping DDT to pick up the victory. So it looks like Carmen Petrovic is definitely getting one over by Ashante, I guess. We'll see. Lexis King thanked the No Quarter Catch for helping him out. Then we saw the family talking, and Crucifino wanted to take on Obafemi next week, and Tony D says that's a cool idea. He'll make it happen. Then we had our main event, number one contenders match, when we would face Trick Williams at Halloween Havoc. Joanne Evans taking on Ethan Page and Wes Lee. Ethan Page picked up the victory and to once again face Trick for the title. Trick came out and confronted him, and then Ethan spun the wheel for their stipulation, and it landed on Devil's Playground. And when Trick wasn't paying attention, he laid him out and attacked him, promising that he was going to get the title back at Halloween Havoc. So that's all that happened on this week's episode of NXT.
The bat. Let me get the bat out of the way real quick.
Just so you know, one other bad thing. I just caught this on Twitter. This is really sad news for poor Cora Jade. Her dog got loose and ran away, and then it got hit by a car and got killed tonight.
Stitchy, right?
Yeah, Stitch. Yeah, from Lilo. I think after Lilo and Stitch. Yeah. So sorry, condolences to Cora losing her dog. That really sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. But the other thing is, I mean, I know she's returned and stuff, but Nikita's a little rusty.
Yeah, I thought she looked fine though. It's like she looked all right.
Yeah.
I like her using the Vader bomb as her new finisher.
I'm also kind of over the Rich Holland stuff. That's kind of gone stale.
I'm glad that Dr. Chase is finally back because they can finally have that blow off. They're probably gonna have a blow off match at Halloween Havoc when Andre Chase will get revenge. It's
just I don't like Thea being. It's just my.
I was waiting. I was like, Thea, why don't you take him to Kick City or something?
Right, do something.
Bystander.
That was just like bugging me. I'm like, Thea, do something. Kick him. Yeah, like you said, just do something. Not just sit there saying no, stop over and over.
Yeah, it's like the way she is. It's like I'm really like I was like I've really been bothered by like her not like attacking Ridge in some fashion. So it's like it was a little weird, but thankfully Andre Chase is back, and that's finally going to lead to this whole storyline coming to a conclusion. By Halloween Havoc, hopefully.
Can they replace the Heritage Cup with the Gentleman's Duel Cup? Because at least that stipulation kind of worked for me.
It wasn't bad. They had a good match despite the unusual rules and stipulation.
It's very hard to do, though.
Yeah,
it's very hard to do. But that was the first time I'm like,
I'm
okay,
still not sure where this is going. It's like I'm kind of like, so it's like they're kind of like doing like, is Lexis King turning over a new leaf or not? Because like Oro Mensah is all like, I don't buy you turning babyface. It's like there's something tells me this is like bogus. So, it's like I'm intrigued, but I'm not invested. It's like that's all I'll say. Also kind of surprised that they're doing Oba and Tony rematch at Halloween Havoc so quickly.
What else are you going to do with it?
Yeah, well, with the stipulation, they have a way for him to be able to probably beat, because it would make no sense for him to drop the title back to Oba after he just won it. You know, it's like the whole Rocky moment. It's like the stipulation is a way for him to be able to get another win at Oba without him taking like a pinfall loss. Because if it's a proper TLC match, I think that the belt would be suspended unless it's like a TLC style match where it's pinfalls and submissions also are in play. I don't know.
That's dumb. The TLC match needs to have the title suspended.
Right. You should have the title suspended. It's like Tables, Ladders, and Scares is basically the Halloween name for a TLC match.
Yeah. But yeah, I was really hoping Wesley would win that. Really hoping.
Well, let's go over the good. Let's start with. We'll get to the main event. Let's start with the ladies, our favorite ladies. Dr. Kerr looked great in her debut.
I don't know if it was more of Stephanie kind of pulling Ren through that, or it was just already just good chemistry for what it was.
They had really good chemistry.
Yeah.
And Ren got to look good even though she lost the match. Like she busted out like counting mutilation. I'm like, Are you a Bryan Danielson fan, Ren? It's like I don't see many people use cow mutilation outside of Bryan Danielson. And then she doing the whole spinning Rooney thing while doing the cow mutilation. I was like, okay, you're getting to show off tonight, even though you're doing this match.
Yeah, and like I said, and her on the mic skills were really good. So I'm like,
she's really coming along.
Yeah,
her in-ring skills are getting better, and she's got that. She's developing a personality in the mic. It's like it's like that dragon screw. That was a thing of beauty, man. It's like
she's crisp, man.
Smooth as
she's crisp. Brooks.
She's so good. And so yeah, she good debut. Good, makes sense for her to have a win. But Ren Sticker got to look good even though she lost. And of course, Cora and Roxanne attack. Julia comes out, and then we've been wondering, are they going to do the tag match at Halloween Havoc or not? They are. So the tag match is on, and that's the match I'm most looking forward to on the show so far.
No kidding.
I mean, Julia and Stephanie are kind of like they're almost like it's like a Mega Powers kind of thing where it's like
it is
like the two powerful baby faces are coming together against the heels. I saw another little video. I like the little videos they're posting showing Cora and Roxanne having their I hate that.
I hate this. This is dumb.
And also pointed out something that they should bring up. Like Roxanne's like they think they're better. They can beat us. We're former tag team champions. It's like Cora smashed something, and it's like Roxanne's like, okay, let's go out. Knowing how close friends Cora and Roxanne are, they're probably really enjoying this whole storyline, getting to work together again. So the tag match is on because we can't wait. If they give the ladies enough time, this could steal the show, in my opinion. So looking forward to that. Main event was a banger.
It was a banger. It was really good.
Yeah. Really great stuff. Everyone got to look great. I know you're pulling for Wesley. I thought he was going to win. I was kind of surprised Ethan won, but I guess they want to have one more match. It's like hopefully the end of the feud between him, because I've liked what Ethan's done in NXT, but I was like, okay, you're really stretching to having them do one more title match.
Right.
So, and plus the stipulation allows for some shenanigans to happen. Devil's Playground was basically like a street fight, no disqualifications, no cutouts. It's like anything goes. They've done Devil's Playground before. In fact, a few years ago, I think it was about 3 years ago, Halloween Havoc. There was a really fun Devil's Playground match between Damian Priest and Johnny Gargano for the North American title. That was pretty dope. So, that's when Johnny, I think, won the title for the last time. It's like the way that was during that when he had gone heel and him, Candice, Indy, and Austin Theory were the way because Austin Theory helped him win the title, beat Damian Priest during that Devil's Playground match to win the title. So we got 3 matches already set up. So we got Trick Ethan round 3, Devil's Playground rules for the title, North American title in a TLC match, Oba Femi and Tony, and we got the Mega Power team up in women's tag match with Cora and Roxanne against Julia and Stephanie, which is going to rock. So Halloween Havoc is looking pretty good, solid so far. See what other matches they're going to throw in there. It's like I'm kind of surprised. I'm not as excited for the 2 rematches as I would like, but the women's tag match is we wait for the yes, please.
Right. Yeah, we've been waiting for that. Now, I think they're probably going to have Cora at least do maybe one warm-up match before we.
I would think that they hopefully she gets in the ring and gets before the tag match, help get some of that ring rust off. So we'll see. We shall see. But I mean, we'll see Julia and Stephanie work together as a team next week because Fatal Influence ran their mouth again. And so he was like, okay, you can face Julia and Stephanie next week in a tag match. Have fun. That's like, oh boy.
Yep. So, well, all right. Anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up? We're already over the 2-hour mark. So
I think that pretty much covers it. So a pretty good episode of NXT. I like the little cosmetic changes they made to the Performance Center. It looks more well lit.
Right.
I liked that. And it had the good vibe of it's like in the Performance Center. So this was definitely better. NXT it had some down moments, but overall I felt that it was compared to Raw and Dynamite, it was a better show. All three.
Yeah, and I like the new setup too because it feels more of a gritty fight feel than we're at a birthday party. We're gonna make some flips. Like it just that's how the old NXT stuff was.
So we got 2 women's tag matches next week. Metaphor's taking on Damage Control. Io and Kyrie are coming back to NXT to take on Metaphor, and then Julia and Stephanie are taking on Fatal Influence.
Nice.
2 members of that Fatal Influence. We'll see which ones they use. God, what was the? Oh, I think we're gonna get Crucifino taking on Obafemi because they were
that's right. They were talking crap. So.
Yeah, the D'Angelo family were talking strategy, and Crucifino said he wanted to take on Obafemi in a match next week. And so
that is true.
So the bill, it's like Holly Havoc's coming up pretty quickly. So they're probably going to get more matches finalized next week because we only got like 2 weeks because that's Sunday the 27th. What do you think of the what do you felt about the Delta vignettes hyping?
I mean, it's the fact that we know it's her, but they haven't really said it's her, and it's just kind of. But I love the
right. Well,
we
know it's like we in the know it's her, but they haven't like revealed her name yet. So it's like I like the latest one where she's like punching the logo. It's like. And you get to see her like in her.
That's her punching through customs.
Yeah, and for people, it's like there isn't much on YouTube, but I shared it on our Discord.
Yes.
She had a knockouts title match down in Australia against Jordan Grace early this year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on free on YouTube. Check it out. She looks good. I haven't watched the whole match, but what I saw was like, Delta's good. It's like I see what the hype is about.
And is she Australian or Zealand?
Yeah, she's Australian.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all. That about wraps it up for here. Definitely stuff to look forward to, as we always are. Tony, freaking clean it up.
Please, Tony.
And can we get the Saudi bookmark of a show out of the way?
Can't wait till Crown Jewel is over with.
Yeah, so we can just move on to blood because the blood right now. I'm just focusing on the bloodline.
I'm looking more forward. It's like I think, hopefully, Halloween Havoc will continue to shape up well because I'm not looking for it's like Crown Jewel is like meh, and so once I get it over with, we'll be heading towards Survivor Series, and we'll get the War Games matches sorted out and see what else is going to happen on the card.
So exactly, guys. Stay tuned to see what all our thoughts are every week here at Ruckus Wrastlin on Rev Sport or Ruckus EV. So thank you all so much for joining us. If you want to link down below as far as the Discord, if you want to talk about any wrestling things. As far as our slate, we do shows Monday through Thursday here, is probably consistently. Monday, you have myself, and Tushka going over the world that is fantasy football. Please join us over there if you have any questions about what to do with your lineup, start, sit, trade, cut, all that stuff. We love talking with you all about that over there. Tuesdays, me and three of my buddies get together and play video games, mainly co-op based. So we kind of go through, and then you're going to watch a bunch of 30-year-olds argue with each other, especially when we're playing Divinity Original Sins. On Wednesday, you'll have myself, Soul, and Tushka wrapping up everything in the world of sports, not only just football, but we've still got Justin sweating out his Yankees against the Guardians. We've got the Mets, Dodgers. We've got that going on. WNBA should be wrapping up on Friday, or should be by the mean is I have the Liberty winning it, and if they win,
Liberty got the lead in the series.
So if the Liberty win it on Friday, then that's it. They are the champions.
It's the best of 5.
Yes,
for WNBA.
Starting next
year,
they're
going to expand it to best of 7 in the future.
Yep. We're happy about that. And then everything on Thursday, you see us two going everything. If you want to see me go on a rant or the rant that Justin went on about Tony, clean it up, you will. Or me getting boycotting PWI. Yes, until you put Roxanne in the top 10. And if you don't put her at number 1 next year, I'm never subscribing to your stuff again. I'm just saying that I like what I always respect what you do. That's why we talk about it every once a year. We look forward to it. And we also, me and Justin will be doing another live show, probably maybe Survivor Series. We don't know. It just depends on schedules and how it all kind of works out, because it's getting into more of the holiday season where we all have a lot of family stuff going on. But on behalf of myself and Justin, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for always making your breakdown videos. And it's always a pleasure talking wrestling with you every week. And we will see you all next time.